June 12, 1889 was a bright summer day on a small branch line in Northern Ireland. Yet this would be the site that exposed the dangers of rail travel like no place before or since, marking it as the location for the darkest day in railroad history. The victims were the children of Armagh, and they thought this was going to be the happiest day of the year.
A lot of the Sunday school children who would go to the various churches would never get a day away, and one of the great treats at the end of the year was to give them a free day by the seaside.
Just over 600 children were on board the Seaside Special, steaming up the gentle hills surrounding Armagh. But they'd never reached the seaside. On a hill a little steeper than the rest, passengers felt the train begin to slow down. It stopped. Suddenly, it became a runaway train, running backwards.
It simply went on gathering speed, and some of those who realized what was happening were actually able to climb out of the windows and jump.
The train was hurtling backwards, downhill, out of control. It looked as though it might run all the way back into Armagh. But another train was speeding uphill on the same line.
The wooden carriages smashed into smithereens. Wreckage and people's bodies went down the embankment. They brought the soldiers from the barracks out to help, and all the local doctors gathered round, and they brought the casualties into the city hospital and the dead into the courthouse.
In the tangled wreckage of the Seaside Special, rescuers found 80 bodies. Most of them were children.
Well, it was devastating. Armagh is a small city. It was a small city then. There was hardly a family that wouldn't have been affected. Some whole families were wiped out.
With its two cathedrals, Armagh is the religious capital of Northern Ireland. Prayers were said for the children here and all over the British Empire. Queen Victoria sent money to help pay for the funerals. The press and the public demanded to know why the trains had crashed.
This disaster compares in railway terms with what the Titanic was to shipping. And it came shortly after Parliament had refused to introduce some of the safety measures on railways because the railways claimed they would all cost too much.
The impact which this dreadful accident had was enormous. Public opinion was outraged, and the Railway Inspectorate, who overlooked railway safety, they were also outraged because for many years they've been pressing the railway companies to improve their safety systems, but they didn't have the power to insist.